Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Super simple video today. If you want to be like Eldon and you want to just be the GOAT of getting your videos to go viral, this is how you do it. Simple as, alright? So let's start off with how we can guarantee that a video goes viral every single time. It's actually not that difficult, but going viral consistently is very hard. So you've got juxtaposition there with, a lot of people will have gone viral one time. If you're watching this video, you probably have a video that's got 10K views or something like that. You've had a video do well. It's just like getting it every time, getting it super consistent. You see these guys get 1 million views every single video and you're like, wait, how is this happening? Let's talk about the different strategies. So I've done a lot of research on this, and like this is my findings for, this is like the rundown of, yeah, the initial kind of overview, and I'm going to be explaining what my findings are here. There's really only two types of ways to go viral. There's only really two real content strategies, okay? So there's volume posting, so the more you post, the more views you get. And this is usually a linear kind of up arrow. You post 10 times a day, you get, you kind of even out the amount of views you get. You post 1 time a day. A lot of people want to talk about, oh, if you post 10 times a day, it doesn't matter. Like it does. But really, because that other metric is quality of video, right? So what is quality of video? Let me give you a really good example here. Take someone like a good friend of mine, Austin Waters. He posts like, let's have a look, once a week, once every week and a half. So he's posting, let's look at this, 5th, 24th. So that's an 11, maybe 12 day difference. This is 5 days ago. What day is it today? So it's the 12th today. So yeah, it's about every week. He's posting pretty much every week. And as you can see here, it's because he's got to do a lot of editing, crazy VFX and stuff like that. But he pops every time. Like all of the videos, bar a few, are just popping off, doing super well. Then you take somebody like Sam, who's straight up a volume poster. This guy will post.
You're really gonna change your life.
Let's just mute this for a second. This guy will post every day, a couple times a day, sometimes 5-10 times a day. Like you can see, these are all videos he posted yesterday. Straight up volume. Absolute volume, bro. Volume. You see that? All of the videos that I just played, except for that one, he posted yesterday, except for these two. So that's what, 12 posts in a single day? It's working, So let's not act like both of these strategies work. The thing is that comes into play with both of these is you're gonna need to prioritize this as much as you can, as well as this. So I spoke to Austin about it and I was like, if you could, cook up a VFX video the same level, I didn't really do him justice, but I will show you guys one of the videos one day, the quality, you can just look them up, but the quality of video, if you could produce one of them every day, would you post it? Yeah, probably would. If you could post 2 of them every day, you probably would, and they would probably get 1 million views every single day. Whereas we look at this Millsap content is like, I'm sure the value of the video a lot of the time is the same. Maybe this is more business value, less entertainment value. However, you can see there's a view difference, but if you look at the volume of it, he'll have the odd video that does 100K, 200K, and then as well as that, because of the audience that he's trying to get here, he doesn't need to get 1 million views a video. Austin's going to get paid off of AdSense and stuff like that, whereas with this, it's like, this is just, I'm pretty sure this is online coaching type thing, so it comes into what I'd like to mention down here, which is NMCA, which I'm going to go into more detail about, and it's useful if you're running a clothing brand. This is all useful if you're running a clothing brand. So this is volume versus quality of video. The answer to the question is post both. If you can post loads, post loads. If you are really focused on quality of video, is another really big fan of quality of video. Take somebody like David Dobrik, 4 minutes a week. 4 minutes a week. Most YouTuber vloggers at the time were doing 1 video a day, 10, 12-minute vlogs, and yet he could blow them out the water views, likes, and popularity-wise just because his videos were so much better. So you got to look at what niche you're in. What does your niche want? Do you need lots of views? Are you going for entertainment, or are you going for sales? And that is actually a question that clothing brand owners need to ask themselves, because think about it, right? Would you rather have 1,000 customers or 20 million views? The answer is 1,000 customers, because if your average order value, believe it or not, is $100, which is pretty normal for a tracksuit, and you got 1,000 loyal customers, that's $100,000. So if you can convince them to buy every month, you're doing $100K a month, you got $1 million business right there. 1,000 people, not 1,000,000 people, not 10,000. You don't even need 10,000 people. You need 1,000 people. 1,000 people. Like quality of video starts to become really important. But it's not just quality of video, it's quality of fan base. So you got to ask yourself the question, is it more important that you're in front of them all the time? And that's where this whole discussion comes from. And there's no perfect answer to this, right? Sam Millsap's doing a great job. Austin's doing a great job. Nobody's got it all figured out. You just got to look at it and say, okay, what am I optimizing for? And a lot of the time, it's actually better in the beginning to volume post. A lot of the time it is, because it gets you over the hump in the first couple stages of, oh, fuck, I hate posting. Oh, no, I don't want to do this. Secondly, it's really good to get some virality on your account, and you need to test what works with volume posting. Volume posting is the only way to test what works. Quality of video involves a whole lot of just guesswork. And then it doesn't go viral, you iterate, but you can only iterate so many times. Sam can iterate 10 times a day. He can test 10 different fucking ideas every day. Whereas somebody like Austin can't do that. So there's advantages, disadvantages that I feel like I've laid out there. You've got to ask yourself what volume as well. A lot of people will think that posting 2 to 3 times a day, the optimal posting time per day is 2 to 3 times. Look, bro, none of that's real. There's a very, very popular Bangladesh account which posts like 50 times a day, and it's still getting millions of views a video. There's huge accounts that just get millions of views, and they post fucking they'll just post back to back, right? And so everybody thinks that doesn't work. That's not true at all. You got to look at the science behind content posting, which is to get pushed out to your fan base. Is your video good? That's what will bring in views, and that's what will bring in exponential views. Let's look back at this. The reason why these videos have more views, there's 2 reasons. They either provided more value to the audience, or they were to a broader audience. So you can see here, if we take popular videos, and this again is it's very important that you guys know this. I think this is a majorly important thing. If you look at clothing brands that just go viral for the sake of going viral, they don't make any money. I saw a clothing brand who did $15,000 in a drop, and they had more followers than us, and we had less followers than them at the time. And it was like, you have 8,000 more followers than us, and you're doing like 1/5 of the revenue we're doing. Why? Because who we were marketing to cared about the product, and they were just kind of posting these memes and stuff like that. Just like how this is an interesting example, Sam's account, because I think he did switch the type of content he was making. But even if we take like these, this is a good example. What did this get, right? 1 million views. Opportunity to change a young man's life and teach him how to shake a hand. Got him into the Aventador. Very nice of you there. So the point is, did that actually provide any value about how to do an online coaching business? Not really. Let's be honest for a second. It's an 8-second clip. However, did it appeal to a broader audience? Everyone online who wants to make money? Yep. And everyone online who likes cars? Yep. And everyone online who's maybe just had a kid? Yeah. It's a huge audience, man. That's why I did well. And as well as that, I'm a big personal fan of environmental content, which seems kind of like unplanned content, and unscripted content does super well. A load of reasons why that video got 1 million views. However, if we take one of these videos that maybe got a couple thousand views, and it's like a real coaching question, like, I'm not going to go into, you guys can check out, but you can probably see there's videos there to get 5, 10, 15K views, and they're about coaching. They'll convert at a higher rate. Those are the guys who are hitting him up and trying to buy his coaching course, and it's the exact same thing for clothing. will post a video about literally just the clothes, like literally straight up just the clothes. Do you like this design or not? Do you fuck with this or not? Stories, stuff like that. They convert at a way higher percentage than just getting someone popular. And, you know, maybe we'll get 1 million views from somebody who's famous, but then it's like, okay, are 1 million people seeing it and thinking, wow, fire tracksuit, bro, can I buy that? Or 1 million people seeing it and going, oh, that I know that famous guy, like, follow, or like and share, but they're not actually. And that's the important thing. So you got to do a mix here. I suggest volume posting in the beginning. I expect it, you know, you need to find out what works. And then when you find out what works, you dial in QOV. And that's something I'm going to be testing on my personal account, is volume posting at the beginning is what I've been doing. You guys can see here, I'm very grateful. I've got, I think, nearing 700 followers on my TikTok account. I started a month and a little bit ago, and I'm trying volume posting as well here. And we'll see how it works. You know, I've got about 50 drafts to save up right now. Been trying this. We had this video do super well, and it's just going to keep doing what it's doing. But importantly, I'm testing both of these things. The important thing with social media in general is that you need to test these things. Volume, quality of video, all of this stuff, it needs to be tested. And also, I'm going to test quality of video as well, where I don't post for a day and I just put out one video and I just see how it does. I'm just going to let it go. It'll be a super high quality video, like a documentary style video where I rate somebody's brand and go over the details of it. So hopefully you guys understand that. Let's now talk about niche market conversion advantage, which is something I already kind of discussed. Your videos, and I think it's something that Sam mentioned. Okay, so shout out Sam for this idea, but niche market conversion advantage is the idea that the videos that get way less views actually convert at a higher percentage, and sometimes a way higher percentage. So if you're making clothing videos about how you're rich and you made it and you're in the Hollywood Hills and it barely has anything to do with your clothes, and there's a guy on a motorbike and there's a guy in a Ferrari, and it gets 1 million views, it's very different to getting 25,000 views, but it's guy saying, look, this is my clothing, you can buy it here, here's the link in bio, you need to get involved with this, we do this, this, and this, we're eco-friendly, whatever, right? It's just going to convert at a completely different level. So be aware when you see these guys, I can guarantee you 1 million views, I can get you 1 million views. 1 million views doesn't mean shit, because you're not trying to get views, you're trying to get revenue. It's a pipeline, okay? Views turn into leads go onto the website visitors or sessions turn into add to carts, to initiate checkouts, to conversions, to repeat buyers. Doesn't matter how many views you get. Honestly, it doesn't matter how many sessions or add to carts or initiate checkouts you get. Sales is what matters, and sales don't even matter that much if you got 100% refund rate because you don't ever send the product. You need to actually like fully get them hooked. You need fans. Otherwise, you're always going to have to acquire new clients. So let's talk about what is quality of video and what is actually just a good video in general. Because let's not act like you can volume post your way to 1 million followers. You can't. You need good videos. If your video didn't get any views, it's because your video is not very good. Emotion is the biggest. Let's make it even bigger. Emotion is the most important thing, full stop, about a video. I don't care what you say. It's the only thing that gets views in the world. Happy, sad, angry, frustrated, you name it, there's millions of views behind it. There is no boring videos that do well. Never seen a boring video do well. And just think about it like that. They don't do well. There is a specific interest. People will find them interesting. Okay, maybe you don't find it interesting, but there is no boring video. Just because you find a topic interesting doesn't mean the video is boring. So let's talk about what you should be scoring your videos on. This is like actually how you should do it. You should write down how good are my videos at being relatable, having the authority context, or how desirable this lifestyle / all of that stuff is. The videos for the clothes, I mean, if you look at the streetwear stuff, you know, how desirable is it? How much do I want the life or product in the actual video? Dopamine / entertainment. How much dopamine do I get, and how entertaining is the video? These things do overlap, but they're not the same thing. Visibility and image. What's the image? And also, so image is just, you guys know what image is. What does it look like? You know, what do people think of you as? What's your aesthetic? What's your vibe? Visibility, how obvious is this? And how quick is it for you to understand, oh, this guy's doing like some hood shit, some emo shit, whatever it is. And then as well as that, visibility is kind of like quality. So is it on a nice camera? Is it easy to watch? Is it saturated? Is it well shot? Is it really like dopamine, if that makes sense. Visibility is super important. If you're shooting it on a fucking Android, it's just gonna do worse. Trend, are you following a trend? If the answer to this is no, it doesn't mean the video will fail. This is why it's lower down. It's just that the trend score is usually pretty helpful. You're pretty much guaranteed to do well if it's a trend. But the important thing about trends, I'll just mention this, please make sure that the trend is, you're doing it your own way. You're doing it in an inventive way. Don't just fucking follow a trend because you're gonna get 1 million views and no sales. Story, is there a storyline behind it? People love stories. People just look at brands like Trico, Cortez, all of the big brands coming up recently. Storylines. They fucking love the stories. So again, it's not one of those super important things. It's not one of those things that if you have it, if you don't have it, sorry, then you will ultimately fail. It's just one of those things that can really play into an advantage for your content. Then understandability, I'm not even sure if that's a word, but is the video, when you watch the video, is it immediately obvious what's happening? Is it like, oh, this is what's happening? Because if you don't know what's happening in the video in the first 2 seconds and it's not engaging, you will scroll. Boring videos don't get any views, and without understanding, there's no emotion. Without any emotion, there's not any views. Length, it's a bit of a tricky one because it has a weird graph to it. So if the video is short, it's more likely to do better. But if the video is longer and it still does well, it means that there's true fans on the video, which is why you have this that comes into play. And there's a lot of this kind of double graphs, double meanings, where it's like, yeah, you want your videos to be short, but it's just something you got to test. Because if 1 minute videos crash for you, 1 minute videos crash for you. Hook and payoff. These are the 2 most important parts, in my opinion, of the video. You got the beginning of the video, which is how you hook people in. This should be a whole different video in itself, the hook. Just so important. And then there's the payoff. So you're always going to promise something in a video. If you're not promising something in a video, then it may be a different type of video, but you do well. You do even better if you promise something in your video. You know, at the start of the video, you explain something, you write something out, you know, you have a payoff, you're more likely to consistently get those watch through, and that retention is just going to push that further out because it's about views. It's about how long they view it for and how many people view it. That's really what matters, because the more retention you have, the more it will be pushed out further, and it's just a snowball from that point onwards until it slows down. Now there's the middle of the video, which is the value. If you're making kind of like skit stuff, there's some like super short style videos which maybe don't have this middle section and they're just kind of like hook payoff. However, that's why I didn't write it down here. However, you will eventually make a video that has a middle to it, and I'd say it's not the most important thing. Obviously the hook's going to be more important, but it's kind of like the most important thing for you right now is generating revenue with the brand. But trust me, getting them their clothes is just going to be just as important when the chargebacks start coming in. And I see that as the middle of the video. If you don't provide any value, you won't get any followers. And then you're going to be thinking to yourself, why do I have 1 million views and then 100 followers? That's why. So that's an explanation of how to go viral consistently. That's an explanation of how the content game actually works, like a full breakdown. The biggest thing to keep in mind is you're not posting enough. The other thing to keep in mind is that your videos aren't good. Your videos aren't good and you're not posting enough. That's it. If you make amazing videos and you post lots of them, you cannot genuinely suggest that it won't do well. It just will do well. It just absolutely will. It's a time game. I said this in one of my TikToks, I'm gonna say it again because I'm fucking with the quote. It was something along the lines of, every day that you kind of want to quit or you don't want to make a video, you don't want to do a TikTok, somebody else is quitting. So you got to kind of figure out the exact same time that you want to quit, somebody else just quit. Do you want to beat them or do you want to be them? That's the question you got to ask yourself, and that should help you push through because content game is tough. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe and throw anything you want to see in the comments below.